Are we ready? Okay. What would you think if I sang out of tune? Would you stand up and walk out on me? Lend me your ears and I'll sing you a song, and I'll try not to sing out of key. Oh, I get by with a little help from my friends. You guys. Oh, I get high with a little help from my friends. I'm gonna try with a little help from my friends. Do you need anybody? I want somebody to love. Okay, enough of that song. Yeah, you guys know what today is. It's the What Would You Make Challenge. All right, hi, my name is Amy. Welcome to the Singing Crafty Crafter. I'm going to start saying it because I'm changing the name of my channel, but I need a little time to sit down, change all the social media when I do it. All right, so today is the What Would You Make Challenge. It's a monthly challenge. I love this challenge. And it is brought to us. Hold on, I'm going to show you my graphics and tell you all about who it's brought to us by. So this is the graphic. Brenda and Christine from Rustic and Lace DIY and Divine Designs, they are the host every month, but they have a co-host this month, and it's at home. Okay, at home DIY. Now I'm going to link all of their channels down below. You guys know this same routine every time. I'm doing, like, all I ever do is challenges videos this year so far. So you know that the host will be linked down below and the playlist. Okay, the other day a playlist wasn't on there and somebody put in the messages and I was like, oh my gosh, how did I, because it happens. All right, so I'm really excited about what I made for this video. But quick reminder that I do give you a little trivia info about my intro song. So that's something new for my channel. I always open up with a song, but now in my voiceover somewhere, I give you some really cool trivia about the song that I sang. So the only thing about that is I always open this challenge with what would you think? Well, I don't know. I'm gonna have to change. I guess I'll have to change it because I can't do the same song trivia unless there's enough trivia to do that. All right, let's dive in. So my first craft, so the rules of what would you make? Of course, you have to use wood in your craft. So I hauled at my 22 peso store here in Mexico, which is a Walmart store where everything's 22 pesos, which is approximately $1.20. And they have some things that are similar to a Dollar Tree. So they got this whole line in that was Namaste, and they have all these mandalas and Namaste stickers, and I hauled it a few weeks ago, and so that's what I used. And I love this piece. So this is a riser. Yeah, isn't that beautiful? Now, this is a little bit different because my riser actually has a three-dimensional piece on the top. And I did that, I normally you wouldn't see that done, but you know, I can display something in the center of it. That's my mug, coffee. Oh, speaking of coffee, I've joined the Buy Me a Coffee. So if you want to buy me a coffee, that's in the description link down below. All right, so let's see how we made this one. Here we go. It's signed from the 22 peso store. Let's make our Namaste riser. So I'm peeling off the paper and then you spritz it, and anyway, I got it all cleaned off. And then I'm just putting a coat of acrylic paint on here. And then I spritz it a little bit so that I can have some movement with it, because I want it to be not like a solid, perfect coat of paint. I want to see some variations in the shadowing and the shading and whatnot. So, you know, I wiped it with, I have a sponge and I'm just sort of sponging it here. Okay, but this is all however you want to do it, right? I have a certain look I'm going for. And by the way, the paper that I scraped off there, it's almost like paper mache when you start scraping the very last of it off of the sign, and I just filled in the holes for the hangers with that, FYI. All right, now I've got this color because this is a color that sort of matches the stickers I'm going to put on it. I'm just doing a little brushing of some color on there. Again, it's not that I need this color to be solid or anything, but it's just the slightest touch of that color, and you change the reflection, you change what it pulls out of the stickers, all that. So this was a body massager thing that I got at my 22 peso store. I already used one of the wheels, but now I'm going to use these other three for my risers. So I just pulled the wood out of them, sanded them down so they're nice and flat, and I am only wood gluing on. I did not pull out the glue gun. I didn't need to. I could let this dry, and so that's what I did. It's stronger that way. Now I'm going to take that color And we're gonna paint the bottom. Now you would say, like, why are you painting the bottom? Because it's the bottom. Because color reflects, and so that color is gonna reflect if it's sitting somewhere. And I painted all around the edge with that color, and now we're putting one last coat of the acrylic white on there. And you see, if you look at this, you'll see just the slightest bit of that blue coming out. Okay, now this is a wood wall hanging piece. It's a mandala. And I'm going to put stickers on this riser before I add that wood piece on. So some of these are like sort of half stickers, and I'm just going around using them and double checking what it's going to look like when that's on there. So anyway, so I finish that off, and then I take my like box cutter. What do you call those things really though? Anyway, my utility knife, and I cut off all the excess sticker there. I did actually, after I did this, I did take sandpaper and just cleaned up a couple of the edges on these little stickers, but they stuck really well. I did not Mod Podge or anything. They're just stuck on there. By the way, I don't show it as I'm doing this project. I do paint those feet black, which is what I'm doing right here, I believe. Yep, I guess I did show some of it. I'm painting them black because we're going to put the mandala down with the black side up. This is almost boho. And now I've decided I'm going to put a sticker right in the center of my riser here, because that's going to pop through the middle of the mandala. Mandala? How do you guys say it anyway? By the way, if you're watching right now and you really like this, give me some sort of hippie, mandala, namaste emoji. I'm curious what you all will come up with for a namaste emoji. Alright, so I'm putting wood glue on, just using a brush, a little brush here. And then it took me a long time, but I visually just found the center. And that's it. This one's done. Give me some sort of namaste emoji. All right, so this one, next one is my absolute favorite. It's the piece that I'm going to use a lot, and I think I have like ADD, OCD. If there's initials in it, I have it. But one of my issues is I'm always making lists. So I literally have a notebook of all the household chores. I know it sounds like, yeah, but it works for me. And so I want to develop something that would just make that easier instead of going to a list. And oh my gosh, did I ever, and I love this piece. So this is my chore chart. Now let me just tell you, this is a piece of wood because I'm trash to treasure. This one had no trash in it. This was all from my 22 peso store. This one though is trash to treasure. Now they had these super cute mandala. I just realized my light isn't on. Wait, suddenly I'm gonna glow. I think on. No, it's not plugged in. Oh, there's light. Okay. Anyway, they had at the 22 peso store, they had these really cute mandala namaste clothespins, right? And they were like, oh, those are so cute. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to use those. I'm going to incorporate that. So this is so cool because here's what happens. On the back side of this, I write what it is that the thing is. Like this one is dog food and water, right? So when it's like this, those are the chores I have to do. Once I've done the chore, I just do this. Kind of brilliant, right? And then I have these three on the sides. Like if there's something additional, let's just say I want to wash the couch cushion covers. I don't know. And then I would just make myself a little note and remove that note because those are the extra things. But then down here, I did now this is how Amy cleans her house. You're gonna learn a lot about me. So on Mondays, I do mirrors. On Tuesdays, guess what I do? Toilets. Okay, so I have these things that need to be done. So these say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then Friday, for instance, is wash the bed. So what do I do? On Friday, this goes this way. And once it's done, I put it this way. Come on, you guys. You gotta love my chore chart. And I used this beautiful piece of wood. Wait, let me show you how I made it. All right, before I even show you how I made this, how about we get a little trivia? So that song by the Beatles, which is called With a Little Help from My Friends, it was recorded in 1967. It was part of their Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band album, which I love that whole album. So in 1967, but it was written by Paul McCartney and John Lennon. However, Ringo Starr sang the song because when they did Sgt. Pepper's, he was the singer Billy Shears in that whole, if you don't know what I'm talking about, there's another trivia thing. All right, anyway, but interestingly though, that recording was also, or that song was also recorded by Joe Cocker, and that became a success for Joe Cocker in 1968, and it topped the UK singles chart. But in 1978, the Beatles recording paired with Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band was reissued. Do you guys remember that? And they made that anyway. So, and it peaked at number 63 in Britain and number 71 in the United States Billboard Hot 100. Ringo Starr regularly performed the song in his concerts as a solo artist. And the song ranked number 311 on Rolling Stone's list of the 500 greatest songs of all time. So do you know it by Joe Cocker or do you know it by the Beatles? For me, it was definitely the Beatles. So what would you do if I sang out of tune? Let's get back to crafting. Well, all I did here was I took a piece of cardboard and I painted it white, and I used some washi tape just to solid the end of it because I'm going to clip those clothespins on and off of it. And then I used wood glue and glued it to my board there. And that board was, I wanted to whitewash that just to pull the whole effect in with everything. So I just have some white with a little bit of blue mixed in it there. And I'm sort of whitewashing this a little bit and covering up some of the raw wood down there on the bottom. Now it has a jagged cut on the end. I don't have a saw or anything, but I thought it added an interesting aspect to it. So I just left that. Now I'm going to take some of these Namaste stickers and I'm going to put them on the cardboard portion, and they're very light colored, right? So it's just sort of an accent. And then I take my clothespins, I'm putting them on there. The clothespins that have the little wood piece on the end, they were for hanging photos. So there was this beautiful rope that I used to make my hanging tie for this. And then I'm gluing the 3 solid ones with the little wood pieces on the end there to hold my notes, and that's what I'm showing you there. Write it on the back and then flip it over when it's done, and that's it. I love this. I'm going to use it every day. Be super cute to do for kids. I whitewashed it. It totally all ties together. Just this cardboard, so it's easy to slip on and off. This is my favorite, absolute favorite this week. But we should probably move on. All right, so the next one I made was my Namaste jar, or whatever I called it on my video. But this is super cute too. So it has wood, right? This is the wood lid. And so, oh, forget it, just watch. All right, so I've got my little jar, my little stickers. We're gonna put one right dead center on the top there. I just visually look till I get to the center. And then we're gonna glue on this cookie cutter, which looks so cool with the sticker behind it. And I just used some crazy glue basically to glue it on there. Ba-bam, that's on. Now all I'm gonna do, of course, is just add a couple of stickers onto this and throw some rocks in it, and this one is done, but it looks really cute. I feel like this whole set, the Namaste stuff, would be really cute in a girl's preteen or teenage room decor. Be really cute. Also, this could make very cute bathroom decor. And all I'm doing there is just putting the sticker on. You just want to rub and make sure that you get it to adhere to the glass and get any cloudiness or bubbles out of it. Pretty easy to do. Also, you want to start with a really clean jar, right? So make sure that's super clean. And then putting a sticker on the back. and that's it, adding my rocks, and this one is done. I love this one too, and it's so simple, but it looks really cool. You know, that one's like super easy, but isn't it cute? And these are like for dough. It's like a cookie cutter. It is a cookie cutter actually, I think. Yeah. But I was like, no, it's super cute. Anyway. And then I put the rocks in here because I could put a votive in there. I didn't for the video, I just left it like this. So I can take the rocks out and just use it as a storage room. All right, let's move on. So my last one though, this one is so funny because it didn't start out to be what it was. It just didn't. But you know, we got to adjust. I'm lighting a little candle. So I had to adjust because it just wasn't going to work for what I saw it as, if that makes sense. I know my head's down, sorry. And so I adjusted and I made this really cool little votive holder. Like how cute is that? Now this does not, it has one piece of trash. The lid from a candle, like a little tin candle that I burned and so I used the lid. But that's the only, everything else is just stuff. So this was a dream catcher and I used the rope in it for another craft and I still have feathers left from it. But let me show you because look, do you see how I have it? It's round. I got this to be curved. So watch my mistake and how I turned it around. All right, so we're gonna put that piece of wood, which is flat, in there and add some, I just ran water through my coffee maker. And so we're putting super, super hot water in there because we're gonna warm up this wood so that I can transform it a little bit. So I'm putting it on a jar using cardboard and we're gonna sort of roll that around. And the reason that we use the cardboard is you want equal pressure on that piece of wood. I'm just gonna take a piece of packing tape and tape that and then leave it to dry for a little bit, right? Now my intention initially was to glue this on that jar after it was all done. Well, that didn't work so well. So I taped it on here, left it, and then after just, I think I set it out in the sun, and then just after a couple of hours, it had conformed to the curvature of that glass. So it's a really good tip, you guys, because this is a thin piece of wood, so you can get some curvature on that. Marcus was telling me that they do it with wood all the time. They steam it and whatnot. Okay, but it was a fail. So now I couldn't glue it to the jar, so what am I going to do next? I took this, good crafters adjust. I took this earring holder and it goes into that wood round, but I needed the wood round to be solid, so I glued it in there and then just perforated the wood right there and broke it off, and now I have a solid round. And I want to use this, but I don't want that bottom piece there. So again, this is like balsa wood. You just sort of perforate and eventually it breaks off. Pretty clean break. Perfect. Now here's my coffee stain because I don't want to paint this. I just want to give it a little bit of color, not the natural wood. And so used my coffee stain, instant coffee with water. It makes great stain. And now this little piece is only painted on one side and I want it painted all the crevices on both sides. So I mix my blues to get a close blue to that, slightly brighter, which is good. And I painted that up. Now I'm taking this earring holder, and this was a wall piece, like a decorative wall mirrored. It's like you peel off the plastic and it's sort of shiny and bright and mirrored, but gold. And so I just take it apart and repurpose all of the petals to cover this piece so that it will be behind my votive and be reflective, making it a much brighter glow from the votive than if it was without any reflection, right? A really good trick with candles. They used to do that in old Victorian days, right? They'd carry the little thing that was metal that reflected the light from the candle to brighten up the house as they walked through before electricity. Now, there's your little history lesson. Took a little wood dowel, glued it down there because I have to brace this somehow. And then I just added some glue to the front of it and added glue to the bottom later on and glued that on. Here's my little candle lid, which I just screwed into my little piece of wood here. I had tiny little screws. I screwed it in there. I could have just glued it, but I worried about the heat from the votive would deactivate any glue that I might put down there, so I thought screwing it in there was a little bit better. So I had these tiny little screws that I removed from a picture frame, actually, for a craft. And so screwed that down, then I add my glue on my dowel and then onto the side, the bottom of my mandala, glued that down. I'm holding it in place there with my pliers. And then some wood glue on the crown-like mandala thing that I've curved. Look at that curve. It's perfect with that round. And oh my gosh, my mistake, my fail, turned into something really cool, right? Not bad, right? Okay, so just don't ever give up. I think it was a great idea to put this on the jar. It just didn't work. You guys, when I put it on the jar, I couldn't get it to stay, and then the glue was all over, so I was like, just stop, Amy, give up. Sometimes you gotta give up and move on, because of course I have stickers I can put on a jar, blah, 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 and I'll save that to do for another craft because there was no wood in it unless I used this. But anyway, I love how this came out. I loved incorporating the little earring holder. See on the back, you can still see where it was an earring holder. And this balsa wood is so easy to cut. So conforming everything, cutting it down, all that. And I just love how this sort of frames that. Isn't that cool? All right. So I don't expect that any of you can make exactly what I made today because it's stuff that I've gotten like at my 22 peso store. But certainly I would say something like this you could copy. By the way, really good point, you guys. Don't ever forget that even the areas that you don't see can affect your craft. When this is sitting on a table, the light bounces, and so it's automatically, do you see how much you see that color here? Because there's a bounce from the color underneath. Even look at the color of my hand right now. Do you see how it has blue in it? So just remember, all aspects of your craft can be really important, and underneath something like that that's a rise, yeah, paint it. So I did. Okay, everybody, have a great day, a great week, a great life. Now don't forget, what are you supposed to do? Give me a thumbs up. Also, you're supposed to do what? Comment. Oh, wait, and go down below, check the host's channels, subscribe if you have not yet, and make sure that you go watch the whole playlist. I just look like I'm falling apart, don't I? We are off to watch some playoff games. So go Bills. Anybody out there? I like an underdog. So yeah. And this is gonna air, oh yeah, we would have known if they'd won or not at this point. All right, everybody. Hey, Ferdinand. Go Bills. Thanks, Ferdinand. I appreciate that. Okay, so we'll see you next time here on the Singing Crafty Crafter. I'm just gonna start saying it because that's what I'm changing my channel name to, but I will send a thing out on my community page and let everybody know. I will, for a while, it'll say the Singing Crafty Crafter, formerly Bella's Bargains. It'll say that on my stuff for a little bit. Okay, that's it. Thanks again to our host, and we'll see you next time here on Bella's, on the, stop, ready? Everybody, have a great day, a great week, a great life. And from your Singing Crafty Crafter, what would you say if I crafted a craft and it was something you didn't like? No, all right. We'll see you next time. Toodles.